we're going to look at curve drill 5-ax, when to use it, when not to use it. So the first thing I have is this part up here, and I'm going to show you, the first thing we're going to cover is curve drill 5-ax here, like curve drill, say, versus contour. If you're familiar with Mastercam, we could do contour and do an axis substitution, say, for this shape right here. See the shape, everything kind of points toward the center, and it would not be hard for a tool to just, we can take the tool and tell it to wrap it around this geometry. But then what happens when you have this shape right here? This shape, it does start off where the tools are pointing, the walls are pointing toward the center. I'm sorry, I said tools earlier, I meant the walls. But then as it changes direction, and the walls then become parallel to each other, and they're not pointing toward the center. So simple axis substitution will not work here. So let me show you a few examples how one works for axis substitution for this side, and then we'll do a curve drill 5-ax. So let me start off with contour. And I've got some wireframe up here just for clarity for today. We could use the solid if we wanted to, but I wanted to make the selections pretty bold and very easy for us to see. So I'm going to go ahead and just select this geometry right here. It is wrapped. It's wrapped around this ID diameter. I'm going to go ahead and select OK. And I do have a tool ready to go. So I have a 1/2-inch flat end mill here. My cut parameters. Now, it is going to default to 3D. And I'm going to switch this to 2D, and I'll explain why I'm doing this here in a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and set my linking parameters the same way. I'm going to set my linking parameters as if I was cutting a part in 2D. I'm just going to leave everything in absolute, and I'm just going to cut everything to 0 here. Okay, that's the depth of my cut. Now, changing my contour type to 2D, and then setting my rapids and my feed planes to only 1 inch. This part is obviously bigger in diameter. So we would think this is gonna, crash into the part, but it's not. We're gonna go ahead and do axis, rotary axis control here, and we're gonna do axis substitution. We're gonna substitute about the Y, and I'm gonna right click right here and say about the diameter of this ID right here. See if I can pick it. There you go. And then I'm gonna unroll it. Because the geometry is in 3D, internally, we're going to unroll this geometry, treat it as 2D, make the toolpath calculation, and then wrap everything back up and give you the rotary toolpath that you're looking for. Go ahead and select OK here. So now when I backplot this, here's my tool. It comes in. It's going to go around the part. And that looks pretty good right there. All right? Fantastic. The toolpath a little short this time, little setting I forgot, but we get the idea of rolling the part around there. Now, let's go to the other side here. Okay, let's look at this side, and I'm probably going to isolate the geometry here to make it easier. So I'm going to go ahead and select all wireframe, and I'm going to hide my model, and I'm going to focus just on this top part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a curve drill 5-ax. So going back to my toolpaths. Going into my multi-axis panel here, I'm going to go select curve, which is our curve drill 5-ax, and I'm going to grab the same tool, and then I'm going to go to cut pattern here. I'm not going to really worry about the holder or the stock today. We're just looking at the motion of the toolpath. I don't really have any stock defined. I'm just going to use the curves. We're just going to do one simple path. We're not really looking at removing, a large amount of a stock today. So on the cut pattern, I'm going to go ahead and use the curve type, through the 3D curves. We have a few selections like, surface edge or all the edges or surface single edge. But again, for clarity, I'm going to use the wireframe. And what I want to do is I want to select that bottom profile. I'm going to go ahead and say select the curves. And instead of me stopping at each of the branch points, I'm going to go ahead and turn my filter on, and I want to make sure that I select only green. I'll select OK to this. My filter settings are set. I have a little indicator here saying that I have a filter on, and then I'm going to chain the bottom profile. It ignores every other color except for the color that I have actively selected. We'll select OK to this. And then we're gonna, again, computer comp is a 1/2 inch inch, so we're gonna, do a radial offset of a 1/4 inch. My 2-axis control, I'm gonna select the lines here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start picking my lines, right? And I'm gonna pick these lines, and I'm gonna make sure that the vectors are pointing away from the curve that I selected. Now I have a few of them here, and there's nothing wrong with that. You get more toolpath control the more you select. And I'm just going to walk them around, and it doesn't take that long. Back to the side. They don't have to be touching. I did select that one edge where that chamfer was at. They can be separated like that. We'll select OK to this, and we're going to rotate about the X. This all looks good. And then our linking parameters, the same thing. I'm going to say 1 inch above the part, just like I did in the contour example. There is no rotary axis to do here because this is going to be a rotary toolpath already. We'll select OK to this, and I'll go ahead and backplot this. And there's my tool here. Now he does rotate a little different here. Maybe it's a little better if we put the model back on, like so. And maybe if I go ahead and backplot him and turn my rotary axis on, he's upside down because he's coming from the other side. Let's do rotary axis substitution. Backplot it this time. Let me spin him around so we can see him. Everything is getting away from me today. Right, let me try that one more time so we can see it. So there, see, it's not rotating there because the walls are parallel. Then he comes back up. We do it one more time, slowing him down for the exercise. And he's going to come in. It has rotated. We've gotten to a certain angle. It's not rotating. It's just cutting in that view, in that position. And then when he comes around this corner, he's going to rotate around and then come out of the part. All right, so that is a really simple and good example of when to use contour, which would be a good example on this side here, and then when to use curve drill 5-ax when you need more control because the walls that you're trying to cut, are changing. We could do swarf as well. We do have options for swarf milling. We have, an old style swarf and a new style swarf. But for today's exercise, we just want to talk when would be the difference and when would you decide to use something like, say, contour or curve drill 5-ax.